SmashweRx. We got Ricky doing the camera work today.
Yeah.
And we got Elena over here. All right, so what we're gonna do is, she just comes flying across the camera. I'm gonna get on my knees because I'm actually really tired. As you can see, normally I don't do videos where I'm all sweaty, but Ricky heard me dropping weights and I started thinking about halfway through my workout, elbow pain, because my elbow started to hurt a little bit, and I thought, you know what? Big problem is elbow pain with a lot of lifters, and Ricky's nodding his head going, yeah, that's right, because what we do is everything we do in CrossFit is so grip intensive, but we concentrate on the problem being the elbow. The problem isn't the joint itself. If you remember yesterday, I went over a problem with the knee and having knee pain, and it actually being the zigzag pattern. The problem is the elbow is the same way as well. So we're gonna go through some mobility on how to free up that elbow joint, take a lot of the pressure off. Now, before I get started, you gotta understand, the way it works is we have the bicep, the tricep, the flexors, and the extensors. Extensors are really weak, but we still use them all the time. The flexors are crazy strong. It's what we use to hook grip our bars. It's what we use when we're capturing everything in the rings, when we're getting underneath that snatch. All that stuff is a lot of flexors, just the punch out is at the end. But we have this, the way the bicep works, just so you understand why I'm bringing this up, is the bicep isn't for curls for the girls. It's a supinator. So what it does is it brings the palm up and then lets it drop back down. So we're gonna have to attack this distal portion of the bicep, so the farther end of the bicep, where it almost comes into the radius. Now, to understand why I'm saying that, the radius has to turn. There's this ligament here called the annular ligament, and it holds the head of the radius in place. It has to do this back and forth, back and forth. Imagine when this thing gets all irritated and angry from constantly going on the rings or constantly picking things up and punching out under them, how irritated this is gonna get. So we wanna free that up, which allows the bicep to do its job, allows the flexors to do their job, and allows everything to work. We're gonna use a peanut. It's so easy. A lot of guys are just using a plain lacrosse ball, but you know what happens is it wobbles all over the place. Check this out, so easy. I can trap the annular head, or the annular ligament of the radial head, and I can trap the flexors all at once. And you wanna do this on something where you can hang over the edge. So all I'm gonna do, by the way, I'm gonna put a caveat in here. Right in here, the funny bone, the ulnar nerve, don't grind that, it's gonna hurt. Okay? So we're gonna get on here. Elena's laughing because we've all done it. We've all smashed our funny bone. So you're just gonna put your body weight on. I mean, it's that easy. And you're just gonna do some circles. You're gonna get further down. What we're doing is we're basically peeling this tissue off. Oh, man, that is uncomfortable. Off the bone and freeing it up, letting it work. Now I wanna tell you something. There's something called an interosseous membrane between the radius and the ulna. Flip your arm over and grind away on that interosseous membrane. I have a really good friend of mine, Dawn. She's having some issues between the bones because it got a little bit strained. So take that and grind away that tissue. You can get deep in there and you can grind away. Get that hand moving back and forth. Get all the way down close to the wrist. Just stay off the bones of the wrist. And just free that up. You're gonna find there's a lot less pressure on the elbow. Just this. Now the other way you wanna do it is flip yourself over and get on where that attachment point is for those flexors. And just do the same thing. Get those fingers working because they all attach and they all work like that. We're gonna hit the tricep. This is even better. So tricep, 3 heads, pulls on the elbow. When we do a press out on a muscle up, which we shouldn't be pressing out that much, Ricky's like, yeah, you shouldn't, because he's seen me do a truckload of them last week. Trap that humerus in the center of the peanut. Now I've captured all 3 heads of that tricep. I'm just gonna take my own body weight, and I'm just gonna do this. I'm just gonna go back and forth, take the hand, give it a little karate chop, and then palm down, and then you're gonna work your way all the way down. Oh, this is abysmal. Man, I didn't realize it was gonna hurt this much, so everybody watching, apologizing for the pain face. And you're just gonna grind away and free that up. What that's gonna do is it's gonna allow that elbow a lot of room to move and a lot of freedom to go through all our overhead movements, to fully extend, to fully come back together. There's one more we wanna do. Remember I said the bicep. But check this out. We've done this one before. You're gonna get on your side. Yeah, you're gonna take a 45. Don't use a training bar. Don't use a Bella bar. Ricky's laughing. He knows. People cherry pick. People cherry pick WODs. People cherry pick mobility. Don't cherry pick mobility. Get that on here. Now, the way you're gonna control this is, people always ask, I got this message the other day, so what happens when it slides? All you gotta do is grab the bar. Just hold the bar. It's not that hard. And all you're gonna do is this. Back and forth. Back and forth. Now I said we're gonna hit the further end this time, not up here where the long head of the bicep comes into the acromion or the coracoid up here. So we're gonna roll that down and holy moly. And we're just gonna grind away. You're gonna feel a little ball in there, I guarantee it. Go ahead and bring that arm down like this. Get some of that internal and external rotation in there. If you notice what I'm doing, back and forth. If this isn't enough, by the way, just flop your leg on there. So much worse. And if it's still not, I'm not gonna do it, I'm gonna tell you that right now. You put both legs on it, but I'm not gonna do it. You're not gonna get me to. So you're just gonna go back and forth like this. You can come all the way up into the top where this long head hits that coracoid. Grind away on this entire thing, but I'll tell you this, you get all this torque in the elbow joint itself because it's got to turn. It's much more complex than the knee because the elbow's got to do this and it's got to do this. So our movements in CrossFit involve a lot of rotation and snapping out really, really hard. When we get under that bar, it's not this soft little push, it's a really hard bang, and then we punch out underneath that bar. So when we're doing that, it's putting a lot of strain on the joint, it's gumming up all these tissues. Free up the elbows, make them feel better, no aches and pains, probably faster on your lifts. Heck, probably hit a PR. Hey, I'm Trev from SmashweRx. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
All right.